Ito ang Broad Stream Cast Communicators, ang naiba at kakaibang plataforma sa digital broadcast. Mula Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao hanggang sa iba't ibang dako ng mundo. Broad Stream Cast Communicators, ang sandigan ng sambayanan mula sa walang labis at walang kulang na pagbabalita, paglilingkod, maglalahad ng mga mapagbuong komentaryo at usaping pambayan para sa kapakanan ng karamihan. Broad Stream Cast Communicators, tuwirang maglilingkod ngayon hanggang sa susunod na henerasyon. Buhay Online, Chikahan at kaalamang pangkabuhayan. Ating tunghayan, pakinggan at tuklasin ang mga pangyayari at kaganapan sa mundo ng online. Buhay Online, Chikahan at kaalamang pangkabuhayan. Alamin ang pinaka-latest trends mula sa trabaho at kung hanggang saan na ang narating ng teknolohiyang ito. At ngayon, narito na ang ating host, ang ating Techiemommy, si Jaye C. Bautista.
Hello, sorry for being late a few minutes. I just had some technical difficulties again. Yung OBS ko, nag-crash na naman. Happy Tuesday. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Buhay Online on a Tuesday. Yun po. It's a sunny day. Well, a little bit cloudy but sunny. Well, no rain so far. Pero yan, parang impending rain. Parang uulan na naman. Pero, but we're luckier than most people because all over the world, parang ano ba ito nangyayari? There was just an earthquake na naman in Mexico. A few days ago, there was an earthquake in Taiwan. Tapos now, presently po, may typhoon sa Japan that brushed over the Kyushu area where they evacuated millions of people. Pero lumampas daw sa Tokyo, no? Pero nandoon pa rin po yung bagyo sa Japan. Meron po silang typhoon. And yun I just read that, I learned that there was an earthquake in Mexico. Some people died. At sa Taiwan, meron din. But welcome to the show. Hello, Mon Samson. Hello, from Manila Bulletin also, like me. Hello, Mon Samson. Good morning to you, okay? I used to, I wrote for many years for Manila Bulletin. For 9 years po, I had my own column there. And the title of my column there was Techiemommy Talks by Me. Kaya po Techiemommy ako hanggang ngayon because, that's the tag that I've had. And in the internet po, I was pretty known. Hindi lang po sa Philippines, no, internet po as Techiemommy. And, I pride myself in having been a part of the Manila Bulletin stable of columnists. Right? Naka-archive naman po yung aking mga sinulat sa UP Library at saka of course, sa Manila Bulletin nandun pa rin po. So, welcome to the show. We're all, of course, now we're doing a series on digitalization and online marketing and everything po. Dami-dami pong kailangan i-tackle tungkol dyan. So we talked about social media marketing and then we also explained digital transformation na kinakailangan natin sa ngayong panahon. Ingay naman ang aming pusa. But anyway, so the other day they were asking, no, kasi di ba we call this, we emphasize the fact na kung kayo po ay mag-social media marketing or mag-establish ng online presence nyo, ang importante po, ang keyword po dyan, operative word po dyan is content, no? Content is king, like we were saying. So, but how? Well, let's talk about content creation, no? We will be talking about content creation and but first things first, okay? Let's see what's happening muna here in the Philippines. Making use of our resources to know what's happening as it happens, okay? Suspended po ang ano ba yan, natatakman ko kasi walang pasok sa September 20, which is today, okay, due to the typhoons in some areas, okay? Tapos, excuse me, nagahang yung aking computer. Anyway, with regards to education, sabi ko walang pasok, sinuspend, of course, sa Taiwan, sa Japan, some schools walang pasok because nga may typhoon sila. Oh my God, nag-crash na naman yung OBS ko. Lord. I think I'm just gonna have to ano ba yan, nag-crash na naman. Am I broadcasting? Kasi sa paningin ko nag-crash eh. Black screen. Pero, ayan, so, right, I think I'm back on air. Okay. So, let's talk about, because I was talking about education kanina, na yung mga walang pasok. I have just a bit of information to share, regarding the world and education. I think this is important to note. Kaso lang, nag-hang po yung aking computer. Anyway, so we will talk more about what things need to be done in order to transform things digitally. Okay? Isa-isahin natin po yung mga importanteng concerns bago ka to go online, to promote your brands and services online. Ano yung mga kailangan gawin kung gusto mong maging e-commerce na to go in the way of e-commerce, right? Okay, but first now, talking about education, I was saying, the UN chief wants education becoming a great divider. Bakit nagiging great divider ang education? Teka nga, let me show you the headline, okay? What is happening to my computer? It's going nuts. Ayan. Pakita ko lang sa inyo. Just bear with me, please, because I'm having these technical difficulties, but I share my technical difficulties with you as Techiemommy is sharing. Wala yung OBS ko po yan kasi kailangan siguro i-reinstall ko naman ulit for the third time. Okay, ito lang ha. Let me just get it, please. I'm just gonna pick it up. Hold on, I'll just show you. Bear with me. Yung OBS ko, gusto mag-crash ulit. Oh no. There you go. Yan. Okay, very good. And for the UN chief warns education as it's becoming a great divider. Okay, anong ibig sabihin? Okay. United Nations sa New York po, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned warned Monday hapon po that unequal education was quickly dividing the planet as he sought to keep development on the agenda ahead of a week of diplomacy focused on global crisis. Anong sabihin? Yung UN chief po, nagtawag po siya ng special meeting on education, a summit, before world leaders meet for the annual General Assembly. Although a number of key officials, including U.S. President Joe Biden, delayed their arrivals in New York due to Queen Elizabeth's funeral. Yun naman po, 2 weeks ang ano yan. Finally laid to rest, no? Education is in a deep crisis, according to the UN UN Secretary General. Bakit? Instead of being the great enabler, education is fast becoming the great divider. Ito ang sinabi ni Guterres sa summit na pinatawag niya kahapon. Okay, bakit? He warned that the COVID-19 pandemic has had a devastating impact on learning, with poor students lacking technology at a particular disadvantage. Ayun na nga po talaga. Kasi po nagkaroon po, lalong naging malaki yung disparity or yung different, yung ano ng rich and poor dahil sa pandemic na yan. Dahil yun sa online learning, di ba po, hindi lahat ng tao may internet, hindi lahat po may laptop, hindi lahat may computer. Kaya itong ibig sabihin nun, sinasabi niya, okay, that lacking technology at a particular disadvantage and conflicts further disrupting schools. Totoo naman, like in the Philippines, di ba po, more than 2 years po tayong hindi nag-face-to-face learning. Di ba po? Last month lang, August lang po nagsimula ang face-to-face sa atin. And within such time din po talaga, those times na yung mga bata sa bahay nag-aaral, nakaaral ba sila? Di ba? Naturuan ba sila? You know, like I told you, I have first-hand experience knowing that my neighbors here, mga bata, never po sila parang nakitang nag-aaral or ano na, kasi palaging araw-araw, buong araw, nasa labas naglalaro. I heard na kumuha ng tutor yung magulang at siya yung gumagawa ng modules. Hindi naman tama yun, right? I feel talaga na nagkaroon ng learning gap 2 years na ito sa mga learning from home. Anyway, Guterres appealed to all countries to prioritize increasing spending per student, even amid question that marks over the global economy. In a report earlier this month, the UN Development Program said COVID has set back humanity's progress by 5 years. Oh my God! So, na-push back ang ating development sa education, I guess, sa academic, sa pag-aaral. Ang nangyari dito, nag-hang naman ako. Guterres also called out Afghanistan's Taliban, who have deprived more than 1 million teenage girls of education since the Islamist militants returned to power in August 2021. I appeal to the authorities in Afghanistan, lift all restrictions on girls' access to second education immediately. Yun nga po talaga eh. Dahil sa pandemic, kung ano-anong mga restrictions na naging sa pag-aaral, mga deterrents, okay? Addressing the summit, Sumaya Faruqi, who was part of Afghanistan's celebrated girls robotics team, said that the Taliban are slowly erasing our existence in society. Oh, that is so sad to know, okay? Thousands of girls may never return back to school. Nakakalungkot naman tong balita na to. Many have been married off. Yun na, pinakasal na lang. The promises of reopening schools came and went. That is so sad sa Taliban. Appealing to world leaders, she said, "We must not forget those who are left behind, those not lucky enough to be at school." Ano naman ako? Nalungkot naman ako doon. Show your solidarity with me and millions of Afghan girls. Sa Ukraine, okay? Diplomacy on Ukraine-Iran. The UN General Assembly, with its epic traffic and demonstrations jamming New York. The UN General Assembly is back in person after 2 years of the pandemic, with leaders required to show up if they wish to speak. After 2 years po, nakipag-meeting na po yung UN. The General Assembly voted to make just one exception for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who is leading resistance to Russian invasion. Okay? Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov headed to New York for the summit, where he heard an appeal Monday from his French counterpart, Catherine Colonna. Sorry. Excuse me. Pasensya na po. Inom lang po ako sandali. to allow a security zone outside the Zaporizhia nuclear plant, whose occupation by Moscow has raised mounting concerns. In the type of last-minute diplomacy common at previous mga UN sessions po, Secretary of State Antony Blinken excuse me, convened a first meeting of the foreign ministers of Azerbaijan and Armenia since the flare-up in fighting. Also high on the agenda for the UN week will be Iran, whose hardline President Ibrahim Raisi is traveling to the General Assembly for the first time. In a U.S. television interview ahead of his arrival, Raisi said that Iran wanted guarantees before returning to a nuclear deal that former President Donald Trump raised in 2018. We cannot trust the Americans because of the behavior that we have already seen from them. Hala, Diyos ko. That is why if there is no guarantee, there is no trust, he told CBS News. Okay, Biden supports a return to the 215 agreement under which Iran drastically scaled back nuclear work in return for promises of sanctions. Oh my God. But the Biden administration says it is impossible in the U.S. system to promise what a future president would do. Okay, but Colonna said French President Emmanuel Macron may meet Raisi in hopes of making progress. There's no better offer for Iran. So, ayan po. Raisi can expect to be dogged by protests during his visit, including by exile groups that have called for his arrest over mass executions of opponents. Okay? Yan po. Yan ang news po tungkol sa diplomacy ng Ukraine at saka Iran. Okay, wala naman tayo dyan. Anyway, so dito po sa Pilipinas, of course, ang news is mostly, of course, yung as infections are dropping, in some areas naman tumaas ang infection, but pero ano pa rin tayo, nasa safe zone pa rin po tayo, and we still have to be still wearing masks, no? Doon lang pinatupad na optional na ang pag-wear ng mask outdoors, okay? All right, so when we talk, okay, so now let's go to the topics that we have on hand regarding digitalization and online marketing, and what we need to do, what we need to what measures we should take in order to be successful sa ating digital transformation. Ayan po, yung meron pong nagtanong dito tungkol sa may ng tulong tungkol sa content creation, okay? Hold on a second. All right. So what is content creation? Well, it means you're creating content for your page, for your social media page, diba? Okay? What is a content creator? Okay? Alamin natin, okay? We're moving on now to that. Mamaya na yung mga hacks. Uso kasi po yung how to do this properly, yung mga YouTube developers, okay? So anyway, let's go to the topic at hand. Alisin ko lang tong divider na to. And let me just move on and show you what we're going to do today. Excuse me. Ayan, okay? Sandali lang po ulit. Oops, sorry. Oops. Sorry po. Pasensya na. Ayan, I'm just gonna grab it again. Palitan ko lang yung topic, okay? Okay, dapat i-ano ko na yung mga slides na lang. Ay, darating din tayo dyan. Just haven't had the time. Ayan po, this is our topic. what is content creation? What is a content creator? Okay, ako yan po. I create content po for people's blogs and websites. I am a content creator. But see, let us learn about it, okay, gradually. Content is the reason search began in the first place. Totoo yun. Yan ang nagkakapag-attract po sa atin na manood ng mga vlogs, magbasa ng vlog, manood ng video sa YouTube or mga live stream shows like this on Facebook is about the content, okay? What is the first thing that you notice in any advertisement or business page that you see online? Diba? Yung content, right? So working on your content as a business, okay, highly depends on, is a highly important task, okay? All right? In this digitally driven world, ito nga that we're digitalizing talaga, content is very important. Everything an online user sees online has the power to attract them. Okay, isipin nyo yun. Making them visit your website or your business page or your Instagram page or even into becoming one of your most loyal clients. Okay? Ang importante is content. Diba? Importante is interesting sa kanila. Yung pong pinapost nyo, yung mga videos nyo, yung mga sinasabi nyo, that is what is important. Okay? Kagaya nga yan, di ba? Like yun, ang YouTube. YouTube is one of the most popular search engines processing more than 3 billion searches a month, while Google is the queen of the internet. YouTube is bigger than, di ba? Reality now, sobrang laki na ng YouTube. Pati yung Google naman, siya yung queen ng internet. Di ba? Dahil sa Google is my friend. But anyway, so yan, para kayo ma-search, dapat interesting din yung taglines nyo, interesting din yung call to action nyo na words, so yung copy nyo. And of course, importantly, yung content nyo, yung video nyo, yung story nyo that you're trying to convey, the message that you're trying to give your subscribers or potential customers. Diba po? Whether it is an ad, whether it's an advertisement or just their online presence, okay? Through these significant social networking forums, the content of any company has to be open, has to be on point, diba? Has to be on the same page to get the visitors, okay? The content you display is your first impression on the customer. Isipin niyo po yun. Excuse me. As cliche as it may be, first impressions last, right? So, the content that you display is your first impression sa inyo pong mga viewers or potential customers, okay? And the first impression must always be the best. Kaya nga, diba? Sinasabi natin, lahat na itong cliche na to, common phrase, putting your best foot forward. Putting your best online presence forward with the right words, right message at the right time is totally important, no? Okay? So, for example, there are so many businesses with their profiles on social media and different types of content that represent their company and speak for their brand, right? You look at the content, and if you find something interesting, you click on those pictures, diba? Or the links to know more about their company. Pero yun na nga, yung pag-click sa link na yan at saka ngayon, segue back to sa be careful of spear phishing, be careful of phishing malware, be careful of what you click, okay? Okay, naalala ko naman tungkol sa topics natin on cybersecurity. Be careful then clicking on the links that you see or are sent to you sa text nyo, sa email nyo. Be careful pa rin. Kasi i-verify nyo muna yung pinapanggalingan ng email na yan o ng text na yan. Kung hindi nyo kilala, huwag nyo i-open. Okay? Alright. So, if you look at the content, if you find it interesting, diba, you will click on the picture, click on the links to know more about the company, right? Or the person, but for that, the influencer, for that matter. This curiosity, okay, that the curiosity or the interest that your content can create can be very beneficial to you as an entrepreneur, diba? And that is why you need to pay special attention to your company's content when planning your marketing strategies. Okay, importante po yun. So, what is a content creator? Okay, ito na, sagutin na natin. What is a content creator? A content creator is someone who creates appealing and awe-inspiring content for the viewers. Okay, the content they create can be educational or can simply be catchy enough to entertain and grab the attention of any visitor or passerby who wasn't previously interested in your brand, okay? But after looking at the content, diba, they developed a certain interest and visited your web page or your social media handles. Pero parang ganun din naman po nung nagsusulat kayo. Parang nung araw, of course, physical newspaper po kami. Sa columnist kami. As a columnist, diba, doon mo nakikita yung readership mo kung interesting yung mga sinusulat mo. Okay, the content of my column was, for 9 years, okay? But I was writing about technology because ako po, I belong to the tech news department of Manila Bulletin, but I was writing with the lifestyle taint, okay? Of course, I was reviewing gadgets, I was reviewing forums that I attended, technically, the launches of mga technical advances in technology, but I wrote about it with a lifestyle twist and slant, no? Which is the reason why it was most interesting also to my readers at the time, no? For 9 years, no? That I was Techiemommy talks in Manila Bulletin. Siguro kasi kung hindi ako ganun ka-interesting yung mga pinagsusulat ko, hindi sila. Siguro ako nag-last ng ganun katagal, no? With my column. But that's the thing. That's what I mean about content, right? Ngayon, digital na, right? Yung content ng videos nyo, tsaka ng mga vlog. See? Like I said, the content can be either educational or can simply be catchy enough to entertain and grab the attention of any visitor or passerby who wasn't previously interested in your brand. But after looking at the content, di ba, pag na-arouse mo yung interest nila, babalik at babalik sila sa webpage mo. Bibili nila yung dyaryo, parang ina-anticipate na nila yung, anxious silang antayin yung column mo, di ba? At the meantime, yung ngayon, yung mga vlogs, araw-araw na content, mas marami ngayong content na ginagawa kasi nga, day-to-day, account itong mga vloggers, right? A good idea can be powerful to impact an audience positively, generating leads for your brand and attracting more customers, okay, through the content displayed, okay? The way these content creators use their ideas to bring a change in the purchasing power of a user is commendable. Talaga naman po. Okay? Kasi po, content doesn't just educate us about things, but it also keeps us entertained while we smile and laugh at the memes we encounter. Yun nga po ang content po talaga, it has to be creative, it has to be entertaining, it has to be informative. Lahat na ho ang elements na yun ay kailangan nasa content nyo. Okay? Having a good content creator on your team or being one yourself is very important. Shh! Ay nako, pasensya na kayo. That is our cat na naghihingi ng pagkain. And can be the most vital asset to your company, okay? They are the brains, they are the creative minds, okay? Behind making your brand appear appealing through the content that they create. Kaya nga po, dyan pang ang kinakailangan, of course, yung mahusay na copywriter, mahusay na writer, at saka yun nga yung scriptwriter, lahat na creative minds, okay? Ang kailangan ng isang content creator, dapat creative siya, di ba? Kasi nga, yun ang hinihingi ng panahon na ang content ay interesting. Ang content ay, yun na nga, isipin nyo, okay, I go to the mga vloggers na yan na ano po ang nagiging, dito sa Pilipinas, ano yung mga, well, gano'n naman din sa Amerika, noon sa TV lang nga, yung mga controversial issues, yan ang content ng ibang mga vloggers or yung mga scandals ng mga pamilya or mga storya, yun po yung mga nag-vlog ngayon, right? But talking about business po, well, vlogging has become a business, but we're talking about creative marketing, like selling products and services, okay? Um, Having a good content creator matters and helps. Okay, their brain really does work differently. Iba ang mga content creator eh. Super creative, di ba? They link your product with a story, di ba? Ayan ang nangyayari, itong ginagawa. Yung produkto nyo, they link it with a story and add emotions to your advertisement campaigns, okay? And it is this emotionally appealing content that connects the audience with your brand, okay? They link your products with a story and add emotions po sa inyong mga advertisement and advertising campaigns. And it is the emotionally appealing content that connects the audience with your brand. Okay? And who can do this better than a creative content creator, diba? Talaga naman. Talagang hindi pwede hindi creative ang content creator. And this is exactly why we need more inspiring content creators who would bring a positive change sa mundo. Di ba? Hindi na, gari na nga, nega yung mga ibang content kasi ang mga tao na gustong-gusto yung nanonood ng buhay ng ibang tao, na magugulong buhay, mga story, yung mga reality TV nung araw na ngayon is all online na. You know, you watch it on your laptop, your phones, right? Hindi na yung TV. Alis konti na lang gumagamit ng TV, no? Nanonood. The different types of content ano-ano ang mga iba't ibang content that a content creator can create. Okay? All right? Well, content can be in any form on the internet. It could be the videos that appear when you look up for something on your search engine, or the blogs you were scrolling down while reading the news. Ayan po. Iba't ibang My goodness. Shao, what is wrong with you? You just ate. Saan kulit. Okay? So, news, Instagram posts, or articles by different bloggers, memes, and pretty much everything that you see online could be categorized under content. Okay? Alright? So ngayon po, nagkakatalo yan sa how you choose to market your product, okay? And the type of content you want to create entirely depends on the content creator's idea at saka kung sino po yung target audience nyo, okay? As a business, kung sino yung gusto nyo i-focus, kung ano yung niche nyo na market na gusto ma-target. So, how you choose to market your product really depends on on the type of content you want to create, depending on the idea of the content creator, kung ano yung target audience, di ba? As a business, at kung sino yung gusto nyong maabot na audience, no? Mabigyan ng message na gusto nyong ipagpatupad, right? And because the content is present pretty much on every forum, okay? It is recommended that you work on a content type that would benefit you the most, okay? And can be something that you're most comfortable with. Kailangan talaga yung iyong content ay something na ayon sa'yo, di ba? Hindi yung what do you call this? Hindi mag-go against your ideals or anything kasi yan, you have to what do you call this? You have to syempre meet with your content creator kung ikaw yung company na kailangan, di ba? It goes with the same as your mission and vision, yung content na i-create niya, right? Okay. Hold on a second. Naghang na naman. Alright? So, yun. So, kailangan, di ba, meron din kayong communication dapat doon sa inyong content creator. Okay? Kung ikaw yun, syempre, alam mo na kung ano yung gusto mo. You already know who your target audience is and what you want to achieve. For instance, okay, some businesses might only be focusing on their content for blogs, as most of the buyers that they have are readers, okay? And what else could attract a reader more than a beautifully written article or blog? Talaga naman po. Maganda yung sinulat niya, magandang good read. Mag-attract talaga yan ng more readers na potential customers or regulars, diba? And because the content is pretty much everywhere, you cannot specifically point out whether any type of content creation is wrong for you as a business. In fact, you should choose the one that helps you market your brand better. Yun lang po. Okay? Okay? Here is something that you should know about the different platforms that you can use to share different types of content like blogs, videos, articles, memes, and nearly everything. Okay? So, pag-usapan natin. Okay? I'd like to welcome Mr. Mon Samson to the show, Angelica Paz, or andyan pa si Mirna, because nag-hang po pati yung cellphone ko nag-hang. Hindi gumagalaw. Ano ba yan? Hold on a second, alright? Because my internet is fast naman. It's 100 plus Mbps. So I don't think it's my internet that's bogging down things. I think it's my computer maybe. Am I, broadcasting fine? Kasi itong aking... Okay. Am I broadcasting fine? Anyway, so, as I was saying, okay, here's something that you should know about the different platforms, okay? Content for social media, okay? Okay, pag-usapan natin yung content for social media. Social media, okay, is used for networking, okay? And is a platform where millions of users are online 24/7. This gives content creators a chance to create captivating content that would interest these online users, okay? While there are chances that your target audience is following you already on these platforms, it is your responsibility now to make content that would convert these followers into buyers, di ba? Oo, kunyari, number of friends nyo, like ako 5,000 friends ko sa isang Facebook account ko, di ba? Nakatutok sila sa mga post ko, sa mga yan ang mga potential nyo rin na pwede kayong i-refer or you call this? I-suggest sa kanila ring mga friends of friends. Doon magbo-multiply yun, no? In yung pag-network, okay? You can create engaging posts on your page, okay? For example, your Facebook page, okay? Social media kasi is used for networking. Kasi where millions of users na are online 24/7, right? That's why this gives content creators a chance to create captivating content that would interest, okay, this online users. While there are chances that your target audience is following you already nga, it is your responsibility now to make a content na magko-convert ito into regular customers or buyers. You can create engaging posts on your page, share graphically designed pictures and videos, diba? That would interest your potential buyers. Kaya content is king. Gandahan niyo yung mga pictures, interesting yung mga videos niyo. You can also share your links to blogs or videos that would take your followers to your original webpage, right? While Facebook could help you interact within the different communities or forums created, you can engage your audience by creating appealing content in the form of questionnaires that they can answer or social media posts that they can share and spread, all right? For classic picture-based content, Instagram could be your first pick. Yan po. Di ba, nag-umpisa talaga ang Instagram na doon tayo nagpo-post ng mga gandang pictures if we go out of the country or we travel or we do events. Doon po yun nag-umpisa sa Instagram. Pero ngayon po, ang Instagram, na pag-aari din po yan ng Meta or ni Mark ay naging mas robust na ngayon. Ang Instagram, meron na rin chat component, meron na rin, nag-post ka na rin ng videos dyan. Pretty much, the same as parang Facebook na rin dahil nakakapag-chat na rin kayo doon sa Instagram, pero nakakapag-private message rin or DM. If you have content in the form of pictures that are photographically appealing for any audience, okay, you can promote such content on Instagram, adding a suitable caption under it along with hashtags that will help you reach out to a larger audience, okay? So, ano yung hashtag? Okay, pag-usapan natin next time din naman yung tungkol sa mga hashtag, okay? Diba? Kasi hindi naman lahat, okay? Alright? Well, pag-usapan na nga rin natin ngayon while we're on it, okay? What is a hashtag, okay? Hashtag, di ba sa mga posts sa Facebook, nakikita nyo may parang yung number sign, tada, tapos hashtag, okay? Di ba? Hashtag is a word or phrase preceded by a hashtag sign, nga yung ganong sign. Diba? Used on social media, websites, and applications, especially Twitter. Sa Twitter yan nag-umpisa talaga, to identify digital content on a specific topic. Okay? You can add a hashtag to a digital content to identify it as a specific topic. Diba? Parang parang tinatag mo, di ba? Pag nagtatag ka ng pangalan sa Facebook na na-notify, yun, yung hashtags na yun, para mabalikan yung topic mo. Okay? Doon sa digital content na pinost mo, okay? So, it is a word or phrase preceded by the hashtag sign used on social media or websites and applications, okay? Yan po ang hashtag. So, balik tayo doon, no? So, if you have so if you have content that are pictures that are really good and clear and you want it to appeal to an audience, you can promote such a content na on Instagram. Just put a nice caption, tapos lagyan nyo ng hashtag that will help you reach out to a bigger, larger audience. Digital content can be made more likable to your target audience who are more interested in video formats of content, right? Businesses can use great digitally intriguing content that they can upload on YouTube, okay? Where the audience can like and share the content on different social networking forums. Gusto rin talaga ng mga negosyo yung mga videos na pwede nga i-upload sa YouTube na nakakakuha rin ng mga audience at readerships, okay? And then there are short content write-ups that can be promoted on Twitter for your audience to retweet. Pero ngayon, di ba, nagdagdag ng Twitter ng number of ng characters na pwede mong i-type, di ba? Para mas mahaba yung mababasa, okay? So, we talked about content for social media. Ngayon naman, content for website, okay? For the website naman, okay, like, what's been going on for years. Now, a website can be your virtual space that potential buyers might visit. Para yung mga prospects na yon ay maging buyers, your website content must be on point, diba? Informative, saka yung website mo dapat user-friendly, madaling mag-navigate, no? Madaling puntahan, madaling gamitin, and appealing to the customers to see, okay? Aesthetically, maganda. Saka hindi na uso kasi nga yung static lang na website. Dapat interactive na, diba? To make their visits on your website more fruitful, the content creator must create digitally lovable content. Okay? Anong isabihin? Something that would explain what you as a brand stand for, diba? And would highlight the keywords that you wish to target, diba? The content on your website will basically inform the customer about what your brand has to offer and how your product will benefit them as a user. Because your website will be completely different from the blogs, okay? You need to make sure that the copies written for these web pages are direct and informative enough for the audience to understand your brand in the first look. Diba? Kasi iba to sa mga vlog mo eh. Diba? So, dapat yung mga catchy yung mga taglines mo sa website mo, tsaka yung mga, diba, mga descriptions. You need to make their experience easy for them. Kagaya ko nga sinabi ko, sorry, user-friendly or user-friendly, diba? Yung experiential kasi ang nagiging, ano mo dito, ang abot mo dito sa, ang what you are trying to achieve here is an experiential way of marketing, no? If you create content that is too confusing, okay, or we're looking for some information takes time for the consumer or the customer, there are chances that you will lose them or aalis na sila dahil bored sila or ang tagal mag-load or 'di ba, hindi interesting, napaka-boring, masyadong wordy or something. You know, dapat ma-draw mo yung attention nila sa website mo na click, kaagad na nakikita nilang gusto nilang makita to go through it and walk through it. Yan ang kailangan mong ma-achieve. No? So how to maintain their interest in staying in your website and finding out more about your products and services. And therefore, you must utilize the art of a good content creator again, okay? And make content that would be sufficient for converting your visiting audience into buyers, okay? So that's number 2, content for social media, content for websites. Now, content naman para sa blog. Okay. A blog can be a source of qualified leads, okay, for your brand, all right? It will help you get strangers on board through the blog content. Okay, paano? Ang purpose kasi ng blog is to provide information, diba? To provide information about topics related to your product and services and anything that you can relate to it so that you can attract a larger customer base. Okay? In my sense nowadays, diba? My life has been in marketing communications for more than 12 years and then on to nagdabog din ng content sa politics because we were a publicist of some congressmen and some politicians, no? And then of course ventured into the academic world too through my online teaching and learning. At saka of course for the most part a lot of it sa entertainment industry rin. Yun kasi alis ka pantay ng aking technical world, yung excuse me, yung aking entertainment. Actually, mas matagal akong nasa entertainment media, no? Medium, rather. So, the purpose of blogs is to provide information about topics related to your product and services and anything that you can relate it to so that you can attract a larger customer base. Blogs usually help people understand how things can be done. Diba? The pros and cons of things and answers to various how-tos and mga articles, okay? So, dapat, making the content on your blogs dapat lovable and helpful, both at the same time, is what will help you create some leads. And that is exactly what a good content creator focuses on. Na engaging yung blog binabasa mo, diba? Interesting, engaging, entertaining, diba? Yun po, no? Okay? So, my last take naman. So, yun po yun. So, of course, we have to put in mind the R3 math. Okay? The right message to the right audience at the right time. Yan pong lagi nating importante dahil dito sa content creation, no? The right message at the right time. Okay? The right message to the right audience at the right time. That is very, very important to note. Okay? So, okay, hold on. All right, so with this, okay, I'd like to halt muna our presentation, no? So with all that said, yun po ang elements ng content creator. So, doon sa mga gustong maging, how do you become a content creator? Okay? Alright? We will continue talking about that tomorrow. So, ang importante muna po, lagay natin sa isip natin, yung R3 map. The right message to the right audience at the right time. Okay? Alright? So, ilipaso lang po natin yung pinag-usapan natin. Okay? What are the different types of content a content creator can create? Okay? Okay? Content can be in any form on the internet. News, Instagram posts, articles by different bloggers, memes po, and pretty much everything that you see online could be categorized under content. Okay? So, iba-ibang klase. Now, okay, how you choose to market your product and the type of content you want to create entirely depends, okay, on the content creator's idea of the target audience. But of course, kung negosyo ka na nag-hire ka ng content creator, he has to confer with the business owner, di ba? Kasi dapat yung create ng content has to be along the lines of the mission vision naman ng kumpanya, di ba? So ano po yung mga iba-ibang content? Okay? Content for social media, right? Okay? Social media is used for networking. So dapat it is a responsibility of the content creator na yung iyong content ay mako-convert into sales, okay? Or possible customers, okay? Content for websites, okay? Ganun din, okay? You need to make their experience easy for them to navigate into your website. Pero dapat maganda yung mga content mo sa website mo or madaling puntahan, madaling intindihin, madaling basahin, right? Tapos yung ganun din po yung sa blogs nyo. A blog can be a source of qualified leads for your brand, mind you, okay? That's why before nauso itong mga vlog na to, what's blog? Di ba? Ayun na nga, I was blogging na for many years nung Friendster pa. Okay? Blogs can usually help people understand how things can be done, the pros and cons of things, and answers to various how-tos at saka mga, di ba? Ngayon na nauso naman yung mga YouTube videos na how to hack ganyan. Paano ka, like for example, no, like this one, before I end, I want to share this little bit, no, kasi may nagtanong sa akin. Total, nandito na rin. Pag-usapan na natin. Okay? Yan, washing clothes. Meron pa tayong 5 minutes. Siguro I can breeze through that sandali. Washing clothes in the rainy season. Paano ka daw maglalaba? Right? Ng uulan. Well, okay, sandali lang to. In a few minutes, okay, basta tomorrow, we will continue about content creator and how content creators, if you want to become a content creator, I have tips for you. Tuloy natin bukas, okay? The rainy days bring with it the cool respite after a sweltering bout with summer, okay? But it has its downsides. Para po sa mga mami, yung rainy days, unfortunately, okay, also mean that awful, yung mga kulob smell they have to deal with pag na-dry po sa loob ng bahay, amoy kulob, yung mga poorly dried laundry indoors. But this is only typical of every Pinoy household during rainy season. So, ngayon, meron ako mga tips para wag mag-amoy yung inyong mga labada. Never pile wet or damp clothes. Huwag niyo pong itatambak pagpatong-patungin yung mga basang damit, okay? This is often a mistake. You see, pag patong-patong niyo yung mga damit when they're wet and damp or worse, piled in a dark room for a period of time, it hastens the buildup of yung masamang amoy, okay? This is because moisture is hospitable to the growth of bacteria, okay? And even fungi and molds, okay? Tapos, ring thoroughly. After pag naglaba kayo, dapat, ipiga nyo ng mahusay, ng mabuti, no? Tanggalin yung liquid. This one's a no-brainer. The less water your clothes hold after washing, the better and faster it will dry to avoid unwanted odors, okay? If you find this particular step wears you out completely, well, because it usually does, employ the aid of your spouse or older kids so you can take turns squeezing out the labada, okay? Number 3, may mga appliances naman po to assist you, di ba? So, kung hindi nyo gusto magpiga, kung meron kayong dryer naman, lagay nyo sa dryer, okay? A dedicated dryer is an efficient tool to get the job done faster. Find the best spot indoors where you can hang your clothes to dry, okay? Perhaps sa balcony, kung meron kayong balcony, or by an open window. Tama, kung sa loob ng kwarto mo, doon sa may bintana na pumapasok yung araw, doon nyo lagay yung sinampay nyo na ayaw nyo mabasa sa ulan, okay? Perhaps by the balcony nga or sa open window where the rain cannot go through, okay? Be patient and do not collect your clothes too soon without making sure they're completely dry. Otherwise, they could still develop mga mabahong smell ng kulog, okay? Tapos, use the right detergent, di ba? Meron, di ba, nung araw pa, ilang years na yung Surf, nag-invento sila ng detergent na kahit na kulog sa indoors pwedeng patuyuin, okay? In washing clothes, finding the right detergent also is already half of the equation. Making sure you're doing it right by using one na singgaling ng the best ever free. Mabango na, nakakalinis ng damit, okay? So, I think yung Surf merong ganyan. So, yun po. So, yun po yung tips ko sa paglalaba o pagpapatuyo ng labada sa loob ng bahay. Okay, with that said, I'd like to end today's episode po that we talked about content creation. We will continue that tomorrow. Maraming salamat po for joining me today. This has been Bautista for Buhay Online on a Tuesday. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan, at the end of the day, 3 things should remain in our lives, and that is faith, hope, and love. Magsama-sama po tayo ulit bukas, and happy Tuesday to you, and enjoy your lunch po. Enjoy your good lunch today.
Inyong natunghayan at napakinggan ang mga makabagong pamamaraan sa mundo ng online sa pamamagitan pa rin ng Broad Stream Cast Communicators. Hanggang sa muli, maraming salamat po.